AITA MIL gives unsolicited advice and it has gone too far. Drop a like and be sure to follow for more. So, AITA MIL gives unsolicited advice and it has gone too far. Throwaway account. Ages are changed for this story as to not be identified in real life. This is a conflict between my mother-in-law and I need a third-party opinion as to whether I was an asshole or not. For context, I, 34, have been married to my husband, 38, for 5 years, have a son together, and both come from a country where elders should be respected, and especially in laws. Although this culture is slowly changing in the past 10 years or so, this way of thinking is still prevalent in rural areas. My husband's parents are from a particularly conservative city, whereas I grew up between several progressive countries, so I have the opposite way of thinking. The difference never bothered me because my husband was also progressive, and we would ignore them whenever they tried to convince us of old ideologies, such as me giving up my career in the biomedical research, or expecting us to move in with them after marriage to take care of them. However, after we had our son, my mother-in-law became increasingly opinionated in the worst ways. First, she tried to name our son after a wartime weapon of destruction, because your generation is forgetting important historical events, and a man needs a good, strong name to keep the history alive. Then she sent a letter instructing us how to bring up our son to be able to get into the best college in the country, which included things like he should be learning at least 2 musical instruments before the age of 5 and should be put into an all-boys school until high school. She also alluded that as someone who did not get into the best college like her son did, I needed her as I had no clue how to raise a successful man. I used her letter as firewood for the yams I was making. The final straw came when she called my mother and started berating her that I was being extremely rude and disrespectful by ignoring all of the helpful advice she gave me over the years, and that as my mother, she should be lecturing me how not to talk to in-laws. I was pissed off when my mother told me what happened later in the week, and immediately called my MIL and told her that I am a fully grown adult that has her own opinions, and unless I ask her, she shouldn't be giving us advice, let alone call and involve my mother in something that has nothing to do with her. I also said I was tired of her unsolicited advice over the years, and she will be blocked from contacting me, and access to my son will be revoked for a while. My husband and Effiel both told me that although what she did over the years was sometimes over the top, I was way too harsh for blocking her and shouldn't be taking away her grandchild. I will say I let my anger take over in the moment, but I feel like a line needed to be drawn in order for MIL to understand her words have consequences. AITA